Thanks, Mr. Director.
Yeah, thanks for the heads up.
Yeah.
But no, well, welcome back to Season 2 of the Average Joe's podcast. I am your host, George, here with co-host of the Average Joe's podcast. Are we doing thumbs up this season? You didn't do it in the first one, did you?
I'm going to try and dull it out a bit.
Yeah, you did plenty of thumbing in the
Just not the good kind, yeah.
Yeah, just not the good kind in episode 1. But no, today, we're joined by Ben. How you doing?
Hello, you alright? Hello, not too bad at all. Not too bad.
How you doing today? You alright?
It's not bad. A bit hot.
It is hot today.
It's manageable for me. It's manageable. It's alright. It's nice now. It's nice, perfect weather now for coming out. You know, if it was a bit earlier on, I would have thought, maybe let's give it a miss. Maybe sit in the fridge or something. Instead, but
bring a freezer out.
That's the one. That's the one. You know, sit in ice buckets, but you know, it's
nice. And we've managed to sit up outside today for the first time. So
I like the setup, to be fair.
Yeah.
You know, we like the setup. You know, with the lights and whatnot.
Well done to Harry and Erin for sorting that one out.
Yeah, Erin done all the lights. It was their idea, to be fair, to bring it outside.
Yeah. So fair play. But I mean, let's get straight into it.
Yep.
So this is the first episode where we don't know our guest.
Yeah.
Obviously, we have a mutual friend with you, which is Tom, who sat behind me, peering over. I can hear him breathing out down my neck. He was also a guest on season 1.
So
you were our first guest, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
First guest on the podcast. So obviously we are mutuals, but we don't know anything about you. So
no, and vice versa, really. Apart from what I've seen online, but it's quite brave though from both of you to start saying so new for season 2, new area, new people. Yeah, it's a big step.
Yeah, no, thank you. We appreciate it. We've been getting a lot of good support and feedback. It's definitely driven us to keep going.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And but then on the flip side, the thing that keeps us going even more so is the bravery of the people that are coming on and telling their stories. For example, yourself. So, we've had a lot of humbling experiences over season 1.
Sure.
And that definitely. What's up?
Every episode we have the same fucking issue with you. Touching the mic, touching you, Willie.
Oh.
I'm a fidgeter.
It's good content.
Yeah, on certain platforms.
OnlyFans.
Yeah. If there's fetishes for fat guys playing with their penises.
Big belly boss fingers his belly button.
Yeah. Sure, that'd sell a few. Sell a few packages on that, but anyway, where were we? We digress. We've had some humbling experiences over the last season. And just like the lineup that we've got so far for this season is already some interesting stories that people will tell. So, but tell us a bit about you, like who you are, like growing up. Where did you grow up? What did you do?
I grew up in Dartford. It's quite boring, really. I've lived in Dartford. I've worked in Dartford. I live East Hill, and I work on West Hill. You know, just up the road, just past the Harvester there, an accountancy firm. So I keep it close to home. I didn't really want to travel too far for work. I know people go up to London, I know Tom does and whatnot, but for me I value time over money more so I'd rather live so close to home. Work so close to home, and then I get them extra few hours or minutes in, and it means a lot more for me. You know, I get home at 5:20. You know, I've got all that time instead of Tom getting home at 6:30 sometimes, right, Tom? You know, so
yeah.
Or more depends how many hours he puts in.
Yeah, or how many beers he has after work.
So I enjoy what I do. To be fair, I enjoy what I do.
That's good. How did you get into that? Was you always?
Oh, pure luck. Yeah. You know, so I was doing finance and business at A level, and I just applied for every job that I could at the time. Anything that sounded, looked decent. You know, I was a warehouse operative and screw fix and all types of jobs. I'll do anything. I wanted to get a job.
Yeah.
And we'd come down to 2 because only 2 got back to me. And one was the firm I'm at now and Dartford Council. And Dartford Council was the housing department. And I thought, the housing department, there's going to be a lot of parents coming in, a lot of kids screaming and stuff. And I don't want that. I don't want any of that stress in my life, So I thought, sorry, I'll do the accountancy firm. I went there for the interview. None of the managers were in, no one at all. And so I was just interviewed by one of the random employees. Yeah. And they just said, happy to have you. On Monday you start, and that's that.
Happy days. So what role did you go in at in the accountancy
it's an apprentice.
Yeah.
Straight up apprentice, getting paid £120 a week, and it's tragedy. But you work your way up slowly.
Yeah,
you
no,
put the
absolutely.
shifts in. You do what you got to do, and that's it. And that's where you come out. You earn your position.
Yeah,
Easy,
nah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I remember starting off as an apprentice in retail many moons ago.
So what qualification does that come with then?
It came with
Nothing.
nothing of
Nothing.
yeah, nothing of any
Substance.
Yeah, that was what I was looking for.
okay.
Yeah, I think you get like a retail and customer service MVQ, something like that.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean,
It sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, I did it because I got thrown out of college, so it was like, what can I do quickly and without my parents knowing?
Sure.
So I literally just like jumped straight into that.
Hey, job's a job at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you get as long as you're working.
And I was at
as long as
college
you're
not
earning
earning any money to go into them earning a bit of money.
So you feel like you're a king, right?
It worked all right for me, and then I ended up moving to Choice in Bluewater and working with. That's how I met Harry, which was
Choice, isn't that the opposition for Tasuti, right?
yeah.
So the dark side.
Sort
over
of.
it, huh?
Once upon a time, it probably was.
Yeah,
But,
once upon a time.
yeah.
It's proper Green Street rivalry.
Yeah.
Right?
They just like eye each other out down each end of Bluewater.
That's it. See you, mate.
Yeah. But and then that's how we ended up meeting. But so during like through school and stuff like that, did you never know what you wanted to do? As you got older?
I think a lot of kids are the same though, aren't they? I mean, because for me, you have so many lessons when you're in school. You have, your science, maths, English. You do so much, and you're like, oh, there's so many opportunities, and there's so many. Oh, do I do apprenticeship? Do I do college? Do I think about university in the future? There's so many options. I think people get like overwhelmed by how much there is in the market.
I think they put too much pressure on kids to make these decisions. Like even like when you're in year 6, you've got to make a decision whether you're clever enough to go to a grammar school or a comprehensive school.
Yeah, so they make the kids actually decide, like, do you want to do grammar school, do you want to do normal school?
Yeah.
So at the time, I didn't do it. I didn't bother going in for the grammar school test. You just, play about instead of your mates. But it's mad, like, you're giving, like, a 10 or 11-year-old that decision to, do you want to go grammar school? Do you not want to go grammar school? And that's, like, a big impact,
To structure their future, isn't it, really?
And then 3 years later, they're making you decide in year 9 what you want to study for year 10 and 11, which means you're going to cut out certain subjects and you're not going to have the opportunity to then go back to those subjects if you want to.
Yeah, if you don't like it and whatever.
Yeah, and then 2 years later, you're doing your GCSEs, which they put, like, so much pressure on. And I do think, like, at the time, like, you get yourself so worked up about these things. And I look back at it now and I think, I've done all right and I've got, like, basically none.
Right, I see.
And, I look at, like, my old man didn't really come out of school with any or many qualifications, and he's done really well in life. And it's just one of those things. I think as you get older, you realise what was important for you growing up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
it's I think that I actually was chatting to my old man about it the other day about the school system and how it needs to be completely restructured for like this day and age. I think.
I see what you mean, but how so though? How would you change it?
I just think like we spoke about they're still teaching things in school what my dad used to learn in school.
Right.
Do you get what I mean?
I see what you mean.
Yeah, so like things like history, and I feel like things need to be brought forward a bit. So what's history? What was history to my dad then?
The Tudors, right? And
yeah, so that I mean, you could bring history forward for the kids of today, if that makes sense.
No.
Does it not make any sense?
No, because in the context of history, history's history.
Yeah,
so if you learn about the Vikings, the Romans, Jesus, like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's still history.
Yeah.
It just depends on like the site and like.
But do you not think it could be brought forward a bit?
Well, what kind of history would you teach?
Well, I don't know. I don't know history really, at all.
No, but like, what would you feel is relevant for kids to learn now?
I don't know. I just think it could be
From a
brought
history
forward.
perspective.
Like, I think as well that schools need to teach you about like the Great Recession and things like that. Like, you need to be more equipped for like your financial future.
From a financial point of view.
Yeah.
Okay, I get you. Okay.
Oh, okay. So
I get you. So we don't
Recovered that.
yeah, just about.
Yes, great. But no, like, I do think like kids these days do need to be taught more about finances and financial futures and things like that.
And mental health.
And mental health, especially. Yeah.
100%.
There's lots of things like that.
I think it was even talked on when I was in secondary school. That sort of situation. It was. Because the GCSEs are such a prominent thing in school, there's no time for. Are you alright? Are you alright? Mate? There's no time for that. It's just like you've got English, you've got maths, you've got science. That's it. You're going to get a grade, you're not going to get a grade. That's how it is. So it's you've got pressure from school, you've got pressure from that side of things. You might have a bad home, you might have this and that. So it's quite a lot in school. You go through it at the same time. So that's tough. I'm fortunate. I had a good home. I had a good home, so I could just focus on the grades and stuff. But I was more focused on just playing with my mates, really.
Yeah.
You know, and playing football at break and lunch and stuff. And I always said to myself, because they told me early on, if you don't get your maths or English, you have to redo it in college or sixth form. And that scared me, because I was like, oh man, I'll get less time off because I want to be, you know, going out and stuff. So I really focused on my maths and English and getting the maths and English. And lo and behold, I got the C grade, luckily. And
so I failed I failed maths at school, and then I had to resit it after, and I got even worse. So it didn't work for me. Yeah, I don't know.
Start counting backwards.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, I completely messed that one up. But yeah, I think we all came out right in the end. Is what I like to think. But
I think the A levels are quite. I did sixth form. I did A level. You went college, I'm guessing.
No, we're straight into working life.
Yeah,
from school.
Yeah, from school. Yeah.
That's brave. That is brave. That's tough.
16. Yeah, I went straight into work.
I respect them.
To be fair, like, I think I always had like a working mindset, because I used to work in a corner shop when I was like 13, 14. It was the corner shop at the bottom of the road from where my secondary school was.
Okay. So what secondary school was it?
St John Fisher in Chatham.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not from round this way.
Okay,
yeah.
Right.
Did you went to school around here?
Yeah, I went to the Lee Academy. Well,
okay.
It was the CTC, but it's Lee Academy now.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But I was the same as you. Like, just left school.
Yeah.
With GCSEs, and that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I used to do like an hour before school, hour after school, and he used to just give me like, I don't know, like 20 quid or something. Can't remember, it wouldn't have been that much, because
that's quite a lot. It's £10 an hour.
That would have been a lot. Yeah,
I'll take that now.
Yeah, maybe it was like it might have even been like 25 quid a week. Can't remember, but yeah, no. So I think I ended up just going straight into work.
Yeah.
Pretty much straight from school.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah,
cool,
it worked for me.
I wanted to do A levels because I only got C grades in my GCSE, and I thought I wanted to do a bit more. I mean, I wasn't really thinking at the time. I wasn't really thinking I've got to get this specific thing. You know, I did business and finance. How basic is that? How like broad is that? Every company is business and finance, right?
Yeah.
So I really wanted to focus on that. It just something that interested me, because I thought there's so many paths you can go to from there. You know, if you want to do your own company, if you want to work here, there, anywhere.
Yeah.
So A level for me, I enjoyed sixth form more than I did my secondary school.
Yeah, did it feel like more of a mature environment, or is that why? Or
sorry, no, it was because it was really bad in secondary school.
Yeah,
Tom will tell you. Really, really bad. But
He'd asked so why he lost his chin there. Bless you.
But I enjoyed A levels a lot more, and because I think you've got less things to do, less things to think about. You've got 3 lessons. I did travel and tourism as well.
Yeah.
But you do 3, just focus on that. You got your study time, and it's just, for me, it was better. You have your day off as well. You only do 4 days. And I just enjoyed it a lot more.
Yeah, no.
And you get your 3 periods. And it's cool. It's cool. And you're away from the other school kids as well, so you have to deal with the year 7s and whatnot.
Yeah, you can just focus on what you're there to focus on, basically.
Sure.
No, that's good. And obviously, you talk about the importance of like friends and sort of hanging around with them. At what age? We'll transition into it, obviously. What age did you meet Darcy?
Yeah, so that was during sixth form. So I met her. We had a taster day in sixth form. It was taster week, actually, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And you just go in there, you do your bits and pieces and whatnot. And we met there for the first time, and we got talking. It was really good. It was good chatting. I wasn't too sure, about if do I want to get, girlfriend or this. I wasn't really on my mind. You won't think about it. I wasn't out to get anything like that, And we spoke for over the summer, and we spoke when we got back to school, and we spoke, and I think the taste day was in July, roughly. Yeah. And we didn't get together until the December. Yeah. The December, 24th December. Just before Christmas, I thought, why not? If in the future, I can get one present for 2 days, right? It makes sense, financially. It's like a finance A level.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So, and we met there, and it was brilliant. Yeah, we had a long talking phase, which is, I don't know if a lot of people get that nowadays.
Yeah, to be fair, I did that with my partner. We met in April. Then I didn't see her again for a couple of months, and we bumped into each other again at like a festival, and then I think we was then 4 months of talking. Cool. And then we got together, and we've been together. 8 years this year.
Wow,
8 years,
that's cool,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
No, I like that a lot. No, that's
Yeah,
brilliant.
I'd
That is
speak
brilliant.
then. The pressure was on. I felt that camera peering in on me.
That's
Like,
it,
Math GCSE would have come in handy there.
She's going to jump over the fence.
yeah. No, there was like bead of sweat coming there. But
That's it.
no, yeah. So yeah, no, it definitely it worked well. It works well for us. But so.
You know,
So,
but
yeah,
yeah,
go on,
so
yeah,
yeah,
sorry,
it's fine.
interrupted you.
Yeah, no. So yeah, we got together after that long talking period of July into December.
Yeah.
And then you get to realise like what you like, what you want. Is this person right? Do you
Yeah.
like the person? All this stuff.
And what age are you at this point?
Oh, the 16 is that?
16, 17?
Right? I think it is, give or take.
Yeah.
Yeah, because So we're 16 at this point. But by the time we're together, we're 17. I think we are. I think that's how it works.
Yeah.
Because we're in November and December, our birthdays. But yeah, and we were together for 3.5 years. You know how it is. But 3.5 years. Yeah, we had a great time during the school.
Yeah.
It's always tough in school because you want to spend more time with them. It was in
Yeah.
every lesson. Every lesson was the exact same.
Yeah.
We was near each other in every lesson 'cause we had the same thing. It was random. We didn't even plan to have the same lessons, but
Yeah,
it just
yeah.
turned out that way. And that was brilliant. And yeah, we just got talking, and we had the Wednesdays off, so we would go out on the Wednesday and do
Yeah,
something
nice.
up London or down the park,
Yeah.
a picnic or whatnot. And that was really cool. That's why I really wanted to value them days off.
Yeah, of course.
And
I
yeah,
guess
then-
that's why you have such a value for time now.
Sure, 100%. But yeah, then obviously when we finished sixth form, she was the person who basically applied for the jobs that I was to get into my apprenticeship
Yeah.
and stuff. Because I can't say too bothered, but I weren't like, I need to get a job now. Do you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
need to go now and get something. But she was like, no, we've got to do it. We've got to do it ASAP. So she did it herself, and she got a job in the Dartford Council, Bexley Council,
Yeah.
Council, which was a great job. In the special needs children business, which was great, just sorting that out. And then she helped me out. She got my CV. She sorted that out for me. She applied for everything. I'll be honest, I don't even know if I applied for one myself. I think it was more or less her applying for most of the things. She was really good like that, really organised. And I feel like I've learned a lot of that organisation that she had like now myself. Because even my calendar, I have a calendar on my phone. That I put everything down. Like Thursday, I've got this. Friday, I've got this.
Yeah.
I've got times. I'm organised now. Before then, I wasn't organised at all. I
Yeah.
didn't care too much. I didn't have, I don't know, the motivation to want to organise things.
Yeah.
But you learn it after a time, and I've learned a lot. She's taught me so much.
Yeah.
So much. Because I hated who I was really in secondary school. The way I didn't really like the way I come across.
Yeah.
And I've changed so much, at least in my eyes. I mean, I don't know in Tom's eyes or whatnot, but
What do you reckon, Tom?
yeah, at least I try. The way I think, the way I speak, the ideologies and whatnot. I've changed big time since secondary school.
What would you say? What would you say you was like before you met her?
Good question. Very good question. I don't know. Lost as in like what do I want to do? Where am I going to go? Obviously not just the jobs, but like who do I want to hang around with? Who do I want to be with? And it was just everything was open ended. After school, everything's like, well, what do I do now?
Yeah.
And she just sort of brought it back into me, like, right, we could do this. This is an idea. We could think about doing this in the future, and we did. Because as soon as we got a job, we was thinking, right, let's go on holidays. Let's go up town. Let's go to musicals.
Yeah.
Let's do this. And everything. And we had so many ideas, and we'd always have something to do.
Sorry, just that.
Please.
When I was younger, I was in I got into my first relationship quite young, but by the sounds of things, it sounds quite similar to me, like in the sense of like when you do, it's kind of like a catch-22 because for me, I feel like I lost quite a lot of years, or my younger years, being in a relationship, but ultimately it brought me structure because my home life was quite chaotic and it was up in the air. So by having somebody to pretty much like you said, like bring everything back in and
Keeps you focused, right?
Yeah, it makes everything make sense. It sounds stupid because when you're a kid, like you just want to go home, you want to play games, you want to go out with your pals and stuff.
Sure.
But when you have a girlfriend, it kind of without giving the ladies too much credit, it kind of matures you. Do you know what I mean? And it does bring you like a structure back to your life. Yeah.
Really, get you focused, get you set. I agree with you, 100% agree with you.
But not to say like to all the young lads out there that you should go and get a fucking girlfriend. Like,
Yeah.
enjoy your life, but if it
Yeah.
works for you, it works for you. Like
Yeah.
work for me, as it did.
I think it depends on the person. Definitely depends on the
definitely,
person. I think Yeah, it definitely depends. If I think a lot of people need that, but then some people don't need that. Some people are automatically independent because of what they've gone through when they were younger. So a lot of them can have that organisation or have that, that think, well, I need to get money, I need to do this, I need to do that. So they've already got that in them. So that's cool. But I didn't have that. So I needed someone to push me to do that. Really push me and really say, I might be indoors on a Saturday playing Xbox or whatever, and she's like, no, look, let's go out, let's go. It's a sunny day, let's go out, let's do something.
Let's go and enjoy it.
At the time, it's like, I want to play FIFA. Come on, But then you think about it, it's like, nice. It's the right idea to go out there and learn something new and just experience something new. And I've really brought that into how I think now, how I go. I've been doing a bit of travelling here and there.
Yeah.
I do like day trips to countries. I do 2 weeks in Bangladesh. I've done just come back from that. And I want to learn more. Getting outdoors, I want to learn even more. I think it's a really good thing to do. Really.
Yeah, no, definitely. And so you were together for how long before the incident took place, which I'll let you.
Yeah, no,
touch
of course. So it was 3.5. It was just over 3.5 years.
Yeah.
Because so the 24th was the 3.5 year point, and she went on the 28th. Although it says the 29th, anywhere you look, it will say the 29th, because it was so late at night. It was 11:43, I believe.
Yeah.
11:43 when it happened. So because of this, by the time the paramedics came and sorted the situation out, I will explain the situation.
Yeah.
By this point, it was already the next day.
Right.
So they always say it's the 29th. The doctors say 29th. Everything says 29th. I've always said 28th because the 29th wasn't a day for her.
No,
Even if she was breathing or her heart was beating or whatever, it's
it wasn't a day.
It wasn't a day. But that day was. Everyone says to me, they said, "Oh, it was a really bad day," and I beg to differ in a sense, right? Hear me out here. So we had a date. We had a double date before. We had a great time. We went in the Spoons for a bit. We went over to a Mexican restaurant in Bexley Heath, and we had a really good time. Just chatting and talking, had a few drinks and whatnot. And then we come home, went back to hers for a little bit, and I got a lift home because I was quite cheeky all the time. I didn't want to have to walk. She lived in Temple Hill, you see. So it was not a long walk, but it's 25 minutes, and at this point it's gone it's about 11 o'clock at this point. So I'm like, can I get a lift? Is that all right? So we're like, yeah, okay, cool. So we start driving. And we have to go get some milk for the baby first. She's got a little sister at the time. Well, she has a little sister still. Yeah. But we go get milk and come back. And she dropped me off at my house, directly out my front door. And I go in to turn the key to get my house. And she does a 3-point turn to go back the other way because it's a lot quicker. And this car was speeding up, and it comes into the side. And it goes a far distance. The car, when it hits, it goes good 5 meters in the air, and then lands. And it was quite because he was going well over the speed limit. It wasn't. It's a 30 road, and this was. I forgot the exact speed. They couldn't get the exact speed because it wasn't like the cameras. They had to base it off of dash cams and ring doorbells and stuff, and they had to work out the time. Wow. But it was a lot more than what it should be. And he was also drunk as well.
Fucking idiot.
Yeah, Sorry. No, agree, of course. He went, the irony actually in it is he was going out to pick his daughter up. So he was going out because she was out, I don't know, partying or whatever, and he went out to pick her up, and halfway through, the situation happened, and that could have been his daughter at the end of the day. That's why I think, at least thought the time close by, that could have been his daughter, but instead his mistake has affected someone else's daughter instead. Which is tough, you know what I mean? But you got to think the mentality of the bloke where he's happy to pick up his child when he's in that state, when he's not in a position to drive, when he's in a position where he's happy to speed, he's happy to do whatever. And it's strange to think that you would do, because I wouldn't do that, even maybe because this has opened my eyes, maybe so, but I wouldn't even dream. I don't even, if I've had a drink, even one drink, one beer, one anything, I will not drive after. That's my law. That's my rule. That's how I stick to, and everyone respects it. So that's fine. Yeah. But that happened, and actually it was quite lucky in a sense. Half a sense. A police van was coming down to Air and Breathe, or Zens, whatever it's called. Yeah. At the time, so they were coming down And as obviously the situation's happened, I've run over to the car. I've checked the front, the driver's seat, but her mum was driving.
Yeah.
So she's up against the window. I couldn't open it because I knew as soon as I open it, she's going to fall out. So I thought, no, I'll leave that.
Yeah.
I opened the back door. I see the situation. She had a very bad head injury, you see. Very, very bad head injury. To a point where I didn't actually want her brothers see her. Her older brother wanted to see her afterwards.
Right.
We can go see them when they're all dolled up and whatnot. And I said, it's better if you don't. It's just, I'd rather, I think it's just think about it. Just remember how you think. How you remember.
I remember, yeah.
Because you're gonna, it's not good. It's not. I mean, I'm sure they will, put the makeup on and it'll be fine,
Yeah.
right? But I don't think even the makeup would have done justice. But yeah. So, but yeah, the police came very very quickly because they were on their way down already, and I didn't even know what car was there. As soon as I've opened the door, I'm panicking. I'm all over the gaff. Every emotion in your body is going through. It's crazy, right?
Yeah, I can't even begin to imagine what is going through your head at that stage.
Your breathing, it's just different. As soon as it happened, because like I said, I was turning, I could see the brake lights, and then I hear that as I'm literally turning the door, and I run over to the car.
The noise, like the noise alone of a car accident.
Oh,
it's
horrific.
It's
loud.
horrific.
I can hear it. I've heard sounds similar to it since, and I can remember it. I'm back in the moment again, But yeah, when I go over, she's in her state, and I'm shouting, I'm screaming, I'm trying to see if anyone can hear me. It's late at night, no one's on the road, no one's there, so I'm just trying to shout as loud as I can to see if anyone can help, But the police come. I didn't even know who was coming. I just sort of turn around and I see this light in my face, and I'm like, I fall to my knees. It was all glass down there. I fall to my knees, bust my knees, or whatever. And they sort it out and they deal with it. And the paramedics come down and they were really good. They got every instrument they had.
Yeah.
They used that, and wasn't enough. They did really, really well. They cordoned it off after a while. And the guy, he wasn't a nice guy. He really wasn't a nice guy. As soon as it happened, his first thought was to get out the car and start taking pictures. I'm guessing for insurance, right? At least as far as I'm concerned, that must be. I don't know. And then he sees them both lying on the floor. Obviously, her mum's alive. She's not. And she shouts at Darcy while she's on the floor, saying, "You're faking it. You're faking it. Get up. You're faking it." Yeah.
What he said.
Yeah, he said it, and it's audible. It was in the court tapes, and it's audible on a police body cam. You can hear it.
Yeah.
And I didn't have time for anger. I didn't have time.
I was just about to say, like, what was going through your head at that moment? Was it still just like
everything's blocked out? I'm focused on her.
Yeah.
Because at this point I didn't know.
Yeah.
I mean, you could tell, right? But you didn't know maybe they could do something, right? But he said that, and I heard it. Audibly heard it. But you just drown it out, and you focus on what you got to do, and that's that. And they take you away from the situation because I was making a bit of a fuss. So they put me into the police car and they just kept me there for a bit, and everyone come out and whatnot. And they took her away. Her mum had to get an air ambulance because her injury was really bad. I forget the exact injuries, but there was a lot of injuries that she had. And again, the irony in the only injuries that Darcy had was to her head. So it was just one blow. It's the in the back seat. There's in the back window. There's like I don't even know how to explain it. Above where the armrest is, there's like this thing in the corner of the window. She's hit her head on that. It's quite a hard thing with and that's it. Just a swift blow, and that's that.
The thing is, the head is so fragile. Like it's such a like a hard part of your body, but it's still so fragile.
Oh, 100%.
It's protecting the most important part of a human,
definitely.
isn't it?
It's protecting the human. At the end of the day. So yeah.
Sorry, so she obviously once this idiot has driven into the side of the car, she's died pretty much straight away. She passed straight away.
Yes.
Which
so I've thought about this many times, and I think it's, without it coming across in a nasty way maybe, but it's probably an easier way to go.
Yeah.
When it's
unaware.
Yeah, for the person, I mean, right? For the person.
Yeah, 100%.
When they're not suffering, she could have been in immense pain. She could have been there.
Yeah.
She could have been paralysed with a back injury.
Yeah.
She could have been. She loved going on holiday. She loved going abroad. She loved going anywhere. She loved doing stuff. And if she was to be paralysed in a wheelchair or in bed bound or whatever, that would have destroyed her, would have
Yeah.
destroyed her family, it would have destroyed everything, right?
Yeah.
So in a sense, it was it's an easier way to go for the person. It's definitely an easier way to
Yeah.
go. Than it being drawn out, because I see it's a lot more mentally testing when it's drawn out. You know,
Yeah,
I
definitely.
think because you've got to go through all these emotions, you know, but then they're still there, and you know it's tough, right? But when it's instant, you've got all the emotions at once. You just get hit with it like a brick.
Yeah.
You know? And then you've got to sort of digest that and deal with that.
Yeah.
And it's just sort of on your plate already, you know.
I mean, so how did that affect you? Obviously, 1 minute you've got, I hope you don't mind me wording it in this way, like 1 minute your life is structured and you've got somebody that you love,
Sure.
and then in a blink of an eye they've been
taken
sure,
away
from you. Like,
I had a plan. I had planned for the future. You know, we had ideas. You know, moving out and kids and whatever else. You know, and we all had that structured. And I was like, well, cool. That's the plan. That's cool. You know, and then your plan just gets ended. You know, and you're like, I've got to start from square one again. You know, it takes you a long time to digest the situation and to work out what you want to do, and then. But I had a lot of good people around me, amazing people. Everyone that I've spoke to about it has been amazing, you know, and they've given their thoughts and their processes, and you just listen to everyone. You listen to everyone, and they'll tell you, you know, ideas and tell you things, and you sort of take that on board, and you can use that. You know, I think that the best thing, if you do have a situation like that, just keep talking to people. Just keep talking to people. At least for me. I mean, it doesn't work for everyone. People, you know, I'm sure some people might be embarrassed to talk about how they feel and whatnot. But in that situation, you talk to anyone and everyone.
Yeah.
I was finding myself talking to strangers, literal strangers, about the situation. People I don't even know the first name, let alone the last name. And I was discussing the whole thing in detail, you know. And I think that was really good thing to do instead of bottling it up and doing that.
Yeah, like I was saying to you before about the podcast we did with a friend of mine called Alex, whose best friend was murdered, and he said he didn't grieve for 2 years.
Yeah, interesting.
Because he took that time to deal with the friendship group to make sure they were okay, and never looked after himself. He said, and then he said it all just came crumbling down 2 years later, and that's when he started going to therapy, and stuff like that.
So he took therapy, and
did
that work for him?
Yeah. He said it was a complete saviour for him.
I think that's coming round, like, to talking to someone. Just talking is great, you know. And I think that's what I was offered therapy by her like work colleagues at Bexley Council.
Yeah.
But I thought, I've got enough people, at least for me, I've got enough people around me that I can talk to.
Solid support network.
Sure, you know, friends, family, whatever. I can talk to them, and for me that was therapy. You know, every time I went out and talked to anyone, even if it was about nothing, you know, it was therapy at the end of the day. And that was really good, you know, and I'm so thankful for every single person I've come in contact with. Yeah. May it be from the postman to Tom. You know what I mean? I'm so thankful for everyone who's been there to help me.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's been so nice and so caring about the situation, and it's just overwhelming how much support you can get from people, and when people want to care, they will care. You know. Definitely,
and how, like, from when the incident happened to how long did it take you to really, like, process everything that was going on? I mean, that's just like Harry said, like, that's like the click of a fingers and your life is completely flipped upside down. And
it does take a while. It does. I mean, it's weird. You think about it a little bit. You think about little bits every day. You know, I still do. I still think about little bits every day. Little little tiny things. Little. You know, and you think about things and you mull it over and then you deal with them. You know, at least it's like a massive jigsaw, right? And you've got 100 pieces and you just think, right, that's one piece I've thought about and I've dealt with. Right, I can put that one down now. And you just go through it. You keep going through it and you think of things and you think, I need to talk about this. I need to discuss this, or I need to get an answer for this. You know, so the court case was quite a long time after, a long time after, and I always wanted to, because I didn't really look at the bloke who did it too much, because obviously I was focused elsewhere. So if he was to walk past me, I wouldn't have known. I know roughly what he is and roughly what he looks like, but I didn't know him, you know. So I needed to see him So I was every time there was a court case or something, no matter how small or how big, I did my best to get there. You know, I went over to Maidstone, went over to, was it Woolwich, I believe, as well. And but yeah, I just needed answers for certain things, and I got the answers that I needed. So I'm very thankful for that. Every little tiny answer that I needed, I got, and I used that to progress, put an extra bit in the jigsaw, and that's what it is. And you keep moving like that, and yeah.
Can I ask you maybe a slightly more difficult question?
Okay.
How do you feel towards him?
Now, a lot of people would say being angry, right? A lot of people would say they're really, really angry, and I haven't dwelled on him, you know. I haven't got a feeling towards him because ultimately I don't know him. I don't care about him. I don't need to know about him. I don't need to care about him. My focus has been on thinking about her, thinking about her family, thinking about myself in a selfish way, and I haven't really had enough. I don't think it's necessary to think about him and get an opinion on him, and think, you know, every day wake up and go, I hate him, and have that anger in your body every day. You know, when you go out driving, when you go out football, when you do anything, having that anger in you, I don't think that's a positive thing to have. You know?
I think that's really admirable that you can have that mindset, because I think it would be so easy for people to be have that just sheer anger.
Then you got to realise, like, how long does that aggression go on for? Are you angry every day then for the rest of your life?
Yeah.
Or is there a point where you're like, well, I'm not angry anymore, you know? So, no, I'm indifferent to him. I'm indifferent to that. My thoughts are with her and the situation, and from our side, from the family side. Yeah, he's in prison. He's in prison now. He got his years.
How long did he get, sorry?
I believe it was 12, but he gets 3 knocked off for good behaviour, I think it was.
So what's that, 12 years minus 3?
9, yeah.
So 4.
He'll probably be away for 4.5, 5 years.
More than likely. So it's been 3 years now. It's been 3 years. You know, I still think about it. You know, every day I think about her. I've got pictures up in my wall. I've got pictures up in my desk at work. You know, it's all there. You know, yeah, it's.
The thing is, it's something like you say you think about it every day, but it's something that you would not want to stop thinking about, if that makes sense.
No,
you know,
agree.
She was such a big, obviously she was such a big part of your life.
Big inspiration.
You don't just want to try and brush that aside just because the event.
It's a big part of your life. It's you know, I said I was with her 3.5 years. You know, it doesn't sound like a long time, right? But there's such key years in your life. You know,
100%.
From 16 through to 20. You know, and they're key years. You know, you're starting to go out for the first time, drinking, all this stuff. And you're doing all these things. You know,
you're learning a lot together in those years. 100%.
Sure. You know, and your first job, first proper job and whatnot, and so.
I think when you've been with someone for, you know, 3.5 years, you are starting to talk about the future and what the future 100%. Looks like. Because 100%. If you don't see it changing, you're not thinking it's 3.5 years. Are you? You're thinking of what's to come.
Sure.
You're not thinking like, oh well, 3.5 years, maybe we shouldn't be talking about these things. Well, you are, because you're not planning on going anywhere.
That's it. I mean, if you're comfortable, and I think if you're in a good relationship, you can talk about that at any time anyway.
I was engaged to my other half within 2 years.
Brilliant.
Yeah, and we've been together 8. We get married next year on our 9th anniversary. So,
wow.
You know, you don't. In those, I wasn't thinking, I've only been together 2 years. You know what I mean? Like, maybe I shouldn't be.
When you know, and when you think this person is really good for me, you like everything they do. You know, there's nothing that's like, oh, I don't like that. You know, everything you really like about that person, and the way they do things, the way they think, the things they want to do. And you're like, yeah, I really like it. You know.
Yeah.
And that's why it will be very hard for me to go and move on at one point.
Yeah.
You know, I'm in no position to want to move on.
No.
I'm in no position to even look into anything like that, you know, because I'm dealing with myself first. I want to think about myself and learn myself.
Yeah.
And then, because at the moment, you know, I still do love her, you know.
Of course, yeah. I mean, I don't think you'll ever stop.
Sure, you know. Then you've got to find a time where, you know, can you let someone else in? Can you love someone as much? You know, and then I find myself thinking, will I always compare that person to her? Like, if she does something wrong, I'm like, oh, well, she wouldn't have done that. Or she wouldn't have done this, you know. So there's a lot to think about there.
Do you feel like you've got closure on the situation?
Myself, yeah.
in yourself?
Yeah, myself, 100%. I do. Like I said, I've got all my answers. They've been answered, and every little detail I had to speak about, I've spoke about, and I've experienced what I had to experience. And yeah, I've come out of it. And I think I have got closure myself. I don't think there's anything more to say, anything more to think about.
Do you feel like you got closure on the situation, or do you feel like you got closure on not being with Darcy anymore?
Brilliant. Yeah, good question. Really good question. I haven't got closure on not being with her. Definitely not. Like I said, I've still got pictures up. I've got pictures up everywhere. I think about her, and I always, it's always in my mind. It's always in my mind, and I would think that would be, if I did find someone, that would be really unfair on them as well.
Mm-hmm.
To have to say, I've got this person I'm thinking about every day, and probably thinking about more than you. You know, so I think it'd be really unfair on that person. To say, to have to do that, and be selfish about it. At least that's how I see it. So I feel like I've got to just learn how to suppress it slightly, keep it there, but suppress it a bit more, and then I can open it up a little bit more for something if I want to. I'm in no position to want to get anyone at the moment. Like I said, I've got great friends, and I'm enjoying my life doing what I'm doing. Like I said, I've been on holidays, I've been trips, Bangladesh. I did filming for a movie last Wednesday.
Yeah, do you know what I was gonna briefly touch on that, 'cause I saw a picture on your Instagram.
Oh, brilliant!
Of you doing some filming. And,
I
was gonna just touch on that, as well as saying, because I feel like we're kind of going into that is about your coping mechanisms. Moving forward. So, obviously travelling is obviously one of those.
Yeah. So obviously she liked travelling. She really liked travelling. We went to Tenerife, Gran Canaria, Belgium, Paris, Rome. And we've done so much together, and I've really enjoyed the travelling, especially with her. So I thought I wanted to bring that over into what I do now.
Yeah.
And obviously I had COVID not too long after, right? So that sort of put the stops on anything. But I was always thinking, always had ideas, always thought, I want to do this, I want to do that. I wanted to see certain things, so I've done that. And I've been to a fair amount of places, and I do these things on a day. Like I went to Norway, Oslo for a day. I went to Berlin for a day, and stuff like this. And in Venice for a day. You just go over there, you see it, you come back. It's it's affordable. It's affordable, and you get to see and experience, and without spending too much money on it. And every time I've gone for these day trips, I've gone with someone different, because it's great to get different people's opinions and how they view going abroad and what they want to do, and getting closer to a person and stuff. And it's great, And I want to continue doing that.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
mean, I've not stopped, but I'm slowing down at the moment because I did quite a lot in one go.
Yeah.
So I've after coming back from Bangladesh, I've burnt myself out a little bit. I think with going abroad, so I just want to calm down a bit.
What was that trip like? Because you said you did that for 2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah. Well, it was 10 days because
Yeah.
you're doing a lot of travelling. It's basically a day to travel.
Yeah.
It's an amazing experience. It really is, but it's tough. It's tough. I lived in the slums for a little bit. I lived near a beach for a little bit, and I lived in this like jungle sort of forest sort of area.
Wow.
And it's just amazing, like how people live, and and it's such a different culture, a different lifestyle out there. But it was something that I wanted to see. I want to say this in a nice way. I might have to reword it, but I wanted to see like the third world, the third world, and how they live, and understand like how bad, or not, how they live, right? Obviously they see it as good. They see it as a good life, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
But maybe they are having a good life in some sense. When I went to a place called Mushiganj, it's this jungle area, and it's great. And this is where my boss's family live. They love life. All their families in one place. Their friends are in one place.
Yeah.
And it's really good for them because they just work on the house. They work on it's like a farm sort of area.
Yeah.
Obviously the men have their jobs, but the women stay there and they do the business there. And it's cool. It's a really chilled out, nice lifestyle there. And for them, it's brilliant. And in a sense, it is good. It is really good.
Yeah, no.
I don't know if that's for me, but
Yeah.
I've learned what I don't like that, or I like parts of it. I like the whole family mentality there. I like the friends and all this stuff. It's really good. But then there's parts where I don't like the ambulance, hospital situations and police situations and stuff like that. And there's other things as well.
Yeah.
And so I've done a lot of learning there. So now I've learned even more so, okay, I like this.
Yeah.
And again, adds another jigsaw to my puzzle.
Yeah.
Right, I now know what I want.
I was going to say, it's really about like piecing piecing that jigsaw together, isn't it, for you? It's all these different experiences.
I need to see that big picture, I've got an idea in mind, but that could change. This time next year it could change. So I just want to put that jigsaw together, see what picture it is, and then I'll roll with it there. Do
you think you could ever see yourself moving abroad?
Good question. So it's always a thought, but I love spending time with my mum, dad, my brother, and I don't want to go too far away. My nan, I love my nan to bits.
Yeah.
So I couldn't move abroad knowing that my nan's here.
Yeah.
Because I know she's never been on a plane, so I couldn't have that.
Yeah.
I'd be saying to think, the very distant future.
Yeah.
But, I feel like if you go to a country, you've got to learn the language. You've got to learn the language in a good enough way to be able to speak to people, to order food, to do this. And I don't feel confident enough in any language. I mean, I speak a very small amount of French.
Yeah.
Enough to order food, right?
Yeah.
But not enough. I feel like if you go to a country, you've got to learn the language well. You know what I mean? You've got to, that's how I see it. And I would feel embarrassed myself personally if I went to, for example, Spain and I didn't know Spanish.
If you went to live there, yeah.
Sure. So that's my thinking on the situation there. So moving abroad, I probably won't. But maybe some extended stays outside the country. Definitely.
Just continue to tick off those countries and
for sure.
And just enjoy the being there.
I've quite a lot of the things that I want to do. I've seen Venice Colosseum. I've seen a lot of things that I want to see. But I just want to see other things as well.
When you go on these trips, you go by yourself?
Not yet, but it's an idea. So when I did Bangladesh, I travelled, done the plane, done everything on my own, and it's a different experience. But I had to spend, I think it was 7 hours in the airport waiting for my connecting flight.
Yeah.
And I think if I was with someone, that'd have been a lot tougher.
Yeah.
You've got to talk to, you've not got to, but you've got to entertain. They might want to do this, you want to do this.
Yeah.
I was happy to lay down, put something behind my head, and watch YouTube for 7 hours, right? And if I was with someone, that'd be bloody boring for them, So traveling on my own, I could, I think, but like I said, I would like to engage with people and get their thinking, and just chat to them and see if I can. Maybe even give them a mindset, and think, I want to go abroad. Maybe I want to do this. Maybe I want to do that. Maybe I want to do this more. So I think I probably could go abroad on my own, 100%. But I think at the moment I'm content with going with people.
Yeah, no, that's fair
Definitely,
enough.
I would like to go with Tom to somewhere nice.
Really?
The most uncultured person I've ever met in my life.
Tom's culture's great. He's great,
For sure.
He's fluent in every language in Europe. Tom. He's great,
Especially the swear words.
Oh, he's brilliant. He did French in year 7, year 8. So, he learned a lot.
Bless him.
But I want to do some World War II stuff as well. We saw Auschwitz, and that was great. But I want to see the D-Day landings and stuff, and Battle of the Bulge and whatnot. And I think that'd be really cool. I'm interested in World War II stuff.
Yeah.
So
That's actually don't need to hit that at school.
Actually, so we learned actually
an interest.
We learned about the Nazis and stuff, and I have a good interest in that, not in a negative sense about it. I'm interested in World War II, so I like that side of things. I like to look into it and understand their mentality. Again, it comes back to understanding people and understanding how people think, and that's why I like going. I've looked into biographies of different officers in.
We did a question once. It was if you could have one person, dead or alive, on the podcast, who would it be? And he said Hitler, because you'd like to get an understanding of his mindset.
Yeah.
So I can imagine. So before the whole drug abuse and stuff that Hitler had, I'm sure he'd be great to talk to. I'm sure have a nice little conversation. Because he's a great speaker. But I think during when he got into power and after that, God, you've got a messed up human being who's drugged up, who's got these weird ideologies and people feeding him stuff. It's not great, mate. It's not great. He's but no, I see your point. I definitely see your point about having him on there.
Not to get on board with his ideology, but it's more so to
just understand the man in there.
What makes him tick?
Why did he want to have so much power? Why did he want to have this? Definitely.
Is there aside from travelling, is there anything else that you find as a good coping mechanism? Music,
for sure. Music. I think a lot of people can resonate with that. A lot of people can resonate with music. When the incident happened, I couldn't listen to a single song for about, I would say about 2 weeks. I just couldn't listen to any lyric of any song. I couldn't hear any note. I just couldn't do it. And as soon as I started listening to a few songs, it's brilliant, you know. And I got really into music, and I am really into music. And I've been to so many festivals and concerts and stuff. I love seeing that stuff. But music's such a big thing for me.
Yeah.
You know? And when I go to live concerts, you know, you just forget about everything. You know, when you go
100%.
into that, you know, you're looking at them. You know, you just think the only thing you're focused on is their music at the time, and you're in a position where at least I am. I'm at peace. You know, I really feel so peaceful.
I can really resonate with you on that. Like I before COVID, like I was at concerts all the time. Like I just love live music. I love music. I could easily, if someone said to me like, you can have music in your house or a TV be gone like instantly.
Right. Okay.
Like I just like live with music.
I don't watch TV myself.
Even when the TV's on, it's probably got music on. Like I love it.
I mean, I watch a little bit of YouTube and I watch the football, but I won't watch Netflix. I don't watch. People always say, Ben, have you seen this movie? Have you watched the TV series? No, I haven't. No, because I don't know what I do. I just sit at home and I play music and I listen to music, and I don't know. I just do that instead, you know. And that's something that I really enjoy doing more so, you know. And I feel like music has really helped. When you find the right music, I listen to rock music. I listen to quite heavy music. Yeah. So I think that's, for me, that's taken my anger out, because when I'm listening to, you know, angry music, you know, instead of being angry yourself, you're getting it out in the music. You're thinking about it. You know, you want to hate. You know, it's good. And I think but listening to this scary, heavy music, I feel more calm. I feel more peaceful. Yeah, sure. You know, and that's why I don't feel hate towards, you know, the person who did it. Yeah. Well, not that I don't feel hate. No. I don't.
That's how you can deal with the hate towards it.
I don't dwell on the hate, because, you know, I can get it out when I listen to my music. You know?
That's a great way of dealing with it, I think, and I think that leads like quite well into like a few questions that we have to always round up the podcast, because one of them is about music. So I think that's perfectly leads into that. Brilliant. So, what is one song that means a lot to you, and why?
Last Kiss by Pearl Jam. It actually talks about a girl, or you know, I think it was his girlfriend, dying in a car crash. And I didn't know this song. I really like Pearl Jam. I went to see them last week, and I really do like Pearl Jam, but I never knew this song existed. And I listened to it, and there's parts of it, and it's like, wow, that really hits me. That was the first song I listened to, actually, when I could start listening to music again, and I felt like it was possible for me and myself to listen to it. Yeah. And that really hit me, and that really, again, another part of I can understand it, and I can see, right, he feels this way, I feel that way as well, and then you understand it, and you sort of just start helping that's another piece of the puzzle. It really is. And, no, definitely. It's called Last Kiss by Pearl Jam. I love Pearl Jam. Great band. They're not too heavy. They're great. Yeah. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're 90s.
No, I hadn't. No.
They're really cool band. He's almost a hippie but he's great. You know, he was around when Kurt Cobain was around and stuff.
Right.
You know?
Okay.
And but they're still going now, and they're really good, really good band.
Wow.
And, it's great.
No, amazing. Thanks for that answer. Have you got any on the top of your head, or do you want me to?
Yeah, I've got one question, but I want to ask it, but I don't want it to come across too heavy.
Cool, let's do it.
If you could have 10 minutes with Darcy, what would you say to her?
Not a lot. Nothing. I'll be honest, I'll probably just hold her. I would just hold her for 10 minutes and just look at her and just get that understanding that, I want to say something, and I know you want to say something, but we're just gonna stare at each other and just, accept that and understand that, and just, okay, let's do that. Because 10 minutes isn't a long enough time to have a conversation, let's be honest. At least, I don't think an hour is. I don't think 2 hours is. I could speak forever, I had a plan to be with her for the rest of my life. I did. So, and that wouldn't have been enough. So, I think you just sort of, I would have just, sat there or laid there and just looked at her, held her for that 10 minutes. And that'd be enough for me. That'd be enough. But I don't think I'd want the opportunity, because I think that would reopen it. That obviously can't happen anyway, right?
Yeah, of course,
But even if it was a possibility, it would just reopen it. I don't think that would be a positive thing to do, as much as I think it would be, because I think I'll go back to square one again, and I'd always think that, But that's a good question. It's a good question.
No, yeah, I I've been thinking it all day, but I didn't want to say it in case it.
That fucking like proper hit me, man.
I'm tearing up.
Yeah,
no, not take the piss.
Yeah,
like,
I'm fucking.
It puts everything into perspective because it just shows how precious life is, really.
Yeah, she was 20 when she went. You know, she wasn't even 21. She couldn't even drink in America. You know, so she's so young at this point, really, really young, and she didn't get to live a lot of her life. But she would have hated COVID though. Like I said, she loved going outdoors, she loved going abroad, and not being allowed to leave the house. And she didn't like being in the house. She would rather be at my house, you know, because it's hectic, her house. You know, she's got 3 brothers, but 2 living there. You know, so she would have.
Was her
hated
mum
COVID.
okay in the end? Sorry, we didn't.
She's alive. She's well.
She was okay.
Physically, she's well. Physically, she's really good, and she's fine. She's able to drive again. Thankfully, she didn't want to drive for a while, which is completely understandable. I didn't think she would drive again personally, but we told her, and it is true, it wasn't her fault. It's not because she was speeding or she was doing this or she was that. She was doing a simple turn in the road, which is perfectly legal on that road. And someone just decided not to brake one day. You know. So, and that's how quick that was. But no, she's fine physically. But mentally, I think everyone's going through their grief. You know. And like I said, it can be a long process, and it is a long process. It can be a short process, I'm sure, for some people. I mean, I'm not sure. I haven't talked to anyone like that. But I think everyone's got a long way to go, and it's her daughter. You know what I mean? That's her oldest daughter.
Of course.
Do you know what I found when my uncle passed away last year? One of the analogies that my auntie used with regards to dealing with grief is that you never really. It's like grief will always be there. Do you know what I mean? Like, some people say about like compressing it or like letting it shrink, and over time, like grief goes away, and like you have time to deal with it. But the reality is that you grow around the situation, if that makes
100%.
sense. And by talking to you, I'm not analysing you in any way, shape, or form, but by speaking about your experience and how you're handling or how you're trying to make sense of your own life is showing how you're growing around the situation.
Definitely.
Does that make sense?
Well, at the end of the day, she was the seed, or she was the water that grew me as a seed. Right?
Yeah, definitely.
She influenced me so much. So she was a part of that. You know, I'm growing with her still. You know, I'm growing with her ideas, and and I know when. Because I found myself very cringy in secondary school, I did, and looking back on it, and she taught me how to not be as cringy, right? You know, and how to be more of a pleasant human being. So, everything, the way I talk, the way I write, the way I do anything, it's around her,
Not even like now, like going abroad and like you said, like going off to these different countries and finding out what you basically like and what you don't like, and like building yourself. It's
By the sounds of things, I think you should be really proud of you.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I do.
Well, we've only met you today, so that's definitely
I could be a criminal, right? You never know. I could be a tax fraud, but I work in
the accountancy.
I could be embezzling gold or something. But,
but you're a nice guy, so it doesn't matter.
No, exactly. As long as you're a nice guy, you can get away with anything, right? So, people always said, oh, you're brave, and you've done well. I don't see it as being brave at all. You've been given the situation. Like I said, it's like you've been given your dinner, and you've got to eat it, So it's not like I've chosen. I haven't been brave and said, yeah, I'll choose that. You know, me, I'd happily be a coward. I'd happily have, just run away, and just said, I'd happily that not happen and be a coward for the rest of my life.
Course.
You know what I mean? I would have taken that, option. But, you get given, the situation, and I guess you've got to be brave. You've got to be, I don't even know the word. You've just got to be switched on, I guess. But
deal with the hand you're dealt.
Sure.
Absolutely.
I agree. That's it. You just got to deal with it. I've dealt with it, and that's it. That's because it was quick. Like I said, it was because it was instant like that. You are given it, and you just got to you got to swallow it. And you got to deal with it. When it's drawn out, I see. I know of people, with cancer and whatnot. And it's such a long, drawn-out process, and mentally, it's more
exhausting.
Definitely more exhausting. I think them people are brave people because they've been given it to eat. They've been given their dinner, and they get given a dessert, and then a dinner again, and then dessert. And that's how it is. They've got to keep swallowing it. They've got to keep going through it every day, every week. And for me, them people are much stronger, much more tough mentally. I mean, it'll break them. They will be broken, and they will mend themselves, and they'll mend themselves really well. So, in a sense, I was given just one big thing, one big impact, and that was that. And then I deal with it. I deal with that.
Yeah. Well, I just want to say a massive thank you for coming on.
No, thank you for having me. I do appreciate coming on.
I think although you've just said what you've just said, I think it's incredibly brave of you to come on and speak.
No, there's not a word, is there, really? I mean, I understand what you're saying. You know, I get what you mean. You know, it's...
we send all of our love to Darcy's family.
I appreciate that.
And, again, like, this story will probably... Although not many people go through that situation, but I think it will help people deal with grief in different ways, just by taking away from how you deal with it. Because I personally think you're dealing with it very well.
Yeah,
with the measures you're putting in place to deal with it. Thank you very, very much for coming on.
Thank you,
we really appreciate your time.
I appreciate the opportunity to talk about it here, you know, and to other people. It's good. It's really good.
It's an absolute
pleasure. So thank you.
Thank you very much. So yeah, we'll round it up. We just have to say a quick thank you to the sponsors of our van conversion that we're currently doing.
Which looks great, by the way. I've seen some videos of that. It's really good.
So we're still planning on doing our mental health fundraiser. The van project is ongoing. So big shout outs to Set Off, the Bead Bar, Sneakers Prep, Meet Up London, and
Graham and Christine.
So thank you very much. And yeah, we'll keep pushing forward, keep striving. So thank you very much.